gotta say, when I was studying for my sommelier exam, you really start to appreciate every wine growing region in the world has a really interesting, unique climate, interesting history, people, place, weather, and what's really cool about Sonoma is it's bigger than people realize.
That's right.
And there's all the diverse climates from out on the ocean, all the way in down by Marin. And there's a great history here that people don't really realize, that all the missionaries, when they came up through the 1800s, they pretty much stopped at Sonoma. So there's the downtown Sonoma Square, the historical aspect, even not wine related but food related, and just the history here. It's cool, and you can grow so many different grapes here.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we have a lot more microclimates here.
Yeah.
Because of the influence of the fog of the ocean. Somebody's trying to get in, calling for some food. Well,
I'm here, but I'm asleep.
That's right. So yes, we're very diverse and offers an awful lot for people to come. So tourists, those of you watching from other parts of the country, get in an airplane, come down here, enjoy. In fact, even from areas like Vegas and LA, you can do a weekend trip now, no big deal. 2 or 3 days in wine country, you gotta love that.
We just had the Wine Blogger conference 2 weeks ago, and those of us who were not hungover got up at 8 o'clock in the morning and went to the geology session, and it was really cool to learn about what makes Walla Walla unique as a wine growing region, and the great floods from millions of years ago that really set that, defined that whole area, the different soils, different climates. Of course, I work in Napa, so I've learned about that little corner of the world. But you go down to Central Coast, there's really cool things about where the Pinot growing region is, and like Gary's Vineyard, stuff like that. Central Coast California, they all have something really cool and unique.
Yeah.
But Sonoma is just, you don't realize how many AVAs are here.
Yeah, there's quite a few. It's like 13 or 14 AVAs, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
And the temperatures change. Like yesterday was a perfect example. It's foggy all day long till 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But if you went 12 miles north, it was hot. It was in the 80s. And that's just that microclimate. And we've got it here, no doubt about it.
All right, send us more questions. What do we got?
Dan.
All right, what's the question from Dan? No. I don't see it at all.
He says, how many wineries have asked you for help getting started in social media?
A couple, but I'm employed by one, so I work for St. Seafree. I've had people approach me, and they'll ask about it. But we sort of help in a different way. But we have so much to do that I don't have time necessarily. I mean,
what? You don't have time to run everybody's social media? What's the deal?
Well, I really do want to see it succeed, though, because there's I'm doing more speaking and stuff like that. So I'm doing a webcast or a couple webinars coming up. CNET this Friday with Brian Solis, who's a thought leader in social media, just in Fortune 500 companies. So that kind of stuff is cool to do, because I'm learning from people outside our industry and trying to bring in new little tidbits and learn quick bites from those guys of stuff that we haven't thought of.
Nice.
But
yeah, you gotta love that.
Wineries have different limitations, maybe time or resources, or maybe there are 2 or 3 people and they just don't. So that's
So get the book.
Not to push the book, but
yeah,
that's kind of why I
Here's the
positioned
book.
it the way
It's really simple. I mean, anybody could read that, right? It's no big deal.
Let's pimp it.
Right? I mean, come on. Use the book, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
It's a to-do list. Just do these things.
Do those things and do half of them or a quarter of them. You'll be way ahead of the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta love it. Well, let me do a little shout out. On the 24th of this month, coming up, is an event that we did last year at Donaw's Vineyard. It is a lobster lunch in the vineyard. Very small setting. You are surrounded by the vineyards. Rick and Diane Donaw will be your guests. I will be there as well, of course. And
Do not want to miss it.
you do not want to miss that. That's right. That came from, where did we get that from?
From our friend Linda.
Linda Cordero. Shout out to Linda Cordero. She's awesome. In Napa, she has a beautiful studio there with